Have you ever wondered what actually powers that smart plant sensor, that robot arm, or that tiny screen flashing numbers in a hobby project? Most people buy a random board online, plug it in, get confused by the wires, and give up in 2 days. It's basically the tech version of buying a gym membership and never going. In this video, you're going to understand every major dev board. Arduino, ESP32, Raspberry Pi Pico, Raspberry Pi 4, STM32, Teensy, BeagleBone, and Jetson Nano. So you finally know exactly which one fits your project. First of all, make sure to subscribe so that you do not miss any video from this channel. Next topic is Arduino. Arduino is a small, beginner-friendly circuit board built to control simple electronics like lights, motors, and sensors. It runs one program at a time and does not have an operating system. Arduino was created in 2005 in Italy by a small team led by Massimo Banzi, originally built for design students who had no coding background. The goal was simple: make hardware as easy to use as software. Inside, it has a microcontroller, which is a tiny chip with a processor, memory, and input-output pins all in one place. You write code on your computer, plug in a USB cable, and upload it directly to the board. The board then runs that code in a loop forever, checking sensors and reacting instantly. There is no file system, no apps, no multitasking, just one job done reliably. A basic Arduino Uno runs at only 16 MHz, which sounds tiny compared to phones running at gigahertz speeds. That slow speed is actually its strength, because it makes timing predictable and power use extremely low. It became popular because it turned electronics from a scary hobby into something anyone could learn in a weekend. Its biggest weakness is limited processing power, so it cannot handle heavy tasks like video or complex math. You'll find Arduino inside 3D printers, home automation kits, weather stations, and school robotics projects. It's basically the board that taught an entire generation that hardware isn't magic, just logic with wires. Next topic is ESP32. The ESP32 is a microcontroller with built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, made by a company called Espressif in China, first released in 2016. Unlike Arduino, it was designed from day one to connect to the internet without needing any extra hardware. Inside, it usually has 2 processor cores, so it can run 2 tasks at the same time instead of just one. This means it can read a sensor and send data online at the same moment without freezing. One early limitation was power consumption, since keeping Wi-Fi active constantly drains batteries fast in small devices. In real systems, engineers manage this using sleep modes, where the chip powers down almost completely between tasks and wakes up only when needed. It runs at around 240 MHz, which is roughly 15 times faster than a basic Arduino chip. This board is everywhere in smart home devices because it can control a light bulb and talk to your phone app at the same time. It's used in fitness trackers, Wi-Fi-enabled sensors, and even DIY security cameras. Compared to Arduino, the ESP32 trades simplicity for internet connectivity and speed. If Arduino is the board that controls things, ESP32 is the board that also tells the internet about it. Your smart home Wi-Fi plug probably has one hiding inside it right now. Next topic is Raspberry Pi Pico. What even is the Raspberry Pi Pico, and why does it have Pi in the name but isn't a computer? Simple. It's a microcontroller board, not a full computer, made by the same company behind the famous Raspberry Pi computers. It was released in 2021, and it was special because Raspberry Pi designed its own custom chip for it, called the RP2040. Let's break it into parts. First, the chip. It has 2 processor cores, similar to ESP32 but no built-in Wi-Fi in the original version. Second, the pins. It has flexible input-output pins that can be reprogrammed to act as almost any type of connection your project needs. Third, the price. It costs around $4, making it one of the cheapest capable boards available. It runs at 133 MHz, and its programmable pins can be reassigned in software, which is unusually flexible for such a cheap chip. Its biggest feature is precise timing control, useful for things like driving multiple LED strips or motors exactly in sync. Its main weakness is the lack of Wi-Fi on the base model, though a Wi-Fi version now exists. A common practical example is using it to control an LED matrix display with perfectly timed colors. It's the board equivalent of a cheap tool that somehow outperforms tools twice its price. Next topic is Raspberry Pi 4. Picture this: a small business owner wants a low-cost computer to run a digital menu screen at their cafe. They don't need a full desktop tower, they just need something small, cheap, and always on. Behind the scenes, that's exactly what the Raspberry Pi 4 was built for when it launched in 2019. Unlike Arduino or ESP32, the Pi 4 is a full computer, running a real operating system like Linux with a file system, multitasking, and internet browsing. This connects directly to our concept. It's not a microcontroller, it's a single-board computer. It works by using an actual multi-core processor, several gigabytes of memory, and full USB, HDMI, and network ports just like a laptop. You plug in a keyboard, mouse, and monitor, and it behaves like a real desktop. It comes in memory options up to 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than many budget laptops from a few years ago. Its main risk in real-world use is heat, since running it hard for long periods can cause the processor to slow itself down to avoid damage. It's used in retro gaming consoles, home media servers, robotics brains, and even basic desktop replacements. Schools also use it to teach real computer science on real hardware for a fraction of laptop prices. It's the board that says, why buy a whole computer when this fits in your palm? Next topic is STM32. Compare STM32 to Arduino, and the difference becomes obvious immediately. Arduino is built for beginners, STM32 is built for professionals. STM32 is a family of microcontrollers made by ST Microelectronics, used heavily in real industrial and commercial products rather than hobby projects. It comes in dozens of variants, so a company can pick a chip with exactly the amount of memory, speed, and features their product needs. Unlike Arduino's simplified environment, STM32 usually requires more advanced software tools and a steeper learning curve. It also gives far more direct control over hardware, letting engineers fine-tune power use down to precise levels. Some STM32 chips run past 480 MHz, dramatically faster than a standard Arduino board. It's commonly used in real products like fitness watches, medical devices, and industrial control systems, not just hobby kits. Its key strength is reliability at scale, since companies can order millions of identical chips for mass production. Its clear downside is that it's not beginner-friendly and small mistakes in code can be harder to debug. The real takeaway is this: Arduino teaches you the concept, STM32 is what actually ships in the product you buy from a store. Next topic is Teensy. Here's a question worth asking. Why would anyone pay more for a board that looks almost identical to Arduino? Because Teensy, made by a small US company called PJRC, was built specifically for speed and precision that standard Arduino boards simply can't match. It first launched back in 2008, and it's shaped to fit directly into the same tiny breadboard-friendly layout hobbyists already knew. Instead of a slow chip, Teensy packs in a much stronger processor while staying pin-compatible with Arduino code and libraries. This means a lot of existing Arduino projects can run on Teensy with barely any changes, just noticeably faster. It also has extremely accurate timing for audio and signal processing, which is a serious weak spot for basic Arduino boards. Some Teensy models run past 600 MHz, more than 30 times faster than a base Arduino Uno. That kind of speed makes it a favorite for musicians and audio engineers building custom synthesizers and effects processors. It's also used in high-speed sensor projects, camera triggering systems, and precise robotics timing. Its main limitation is price, since it costs noticeably more than a basic Arduino for similar-looking hardware. It's popular in niche communities like electronic music makers, high-speed data logging projects, and advanced hobbyist labs. The honest trade-off is simple. You're paying extra money for extra speed and extra precision, nothing more, nothing less. Basically, it's Arduino's faster cousin who spent way more on gym membership and actually shows up. Next topic is BeagleBone. Let's compare two boards that often get confused: Raspberry Pi and BeagleBone, since both look like small computers but serve different purposes. BeagleBone, first released in 2008 by the BeagleBoard community, was built with industrial and embedded use in mind rather than general home computing. It runs Linux like a Raspberry Pi, but it focuses heavily on direct, real-time hardware control, something Raspberry Pi is not naturally built for. Where Raspberry Pi is more like a mini desktop computer, BeagleBone behaves more like an industrial control computer with extra real-time precision. It includes something called a PRU, or Programmable Real-Time Unit, which allows extremely exact timing for controlling machines and motors. This makes it different from Pi 4, which can lag slightly when timing needs to be perfectly exact. BeagleBone typically runs at around 1 GHz, slower on paper than a Pi 4 but far more dependable for real-time industrial tasks. It's commonly used in factory automation, robotics arms, and CNC machine control, where consistency matters more than raw speed. It's also used in agricultural sensors and industrial monitoring systems that need to run for years without failure. Its clear strength is dependable real-time performance in environments where mistakes are expensive. Its clear downside is a smaller hobbyist community, so it's harder to find beginner tutorials compared to Raspberry Pi. The real insight here is that raw speed on a spec sheet doesn't always win. Reliability under real, repetitive industrial pressure often matters more. Next topic is Jetson Nano. Okay, let's talk about this one like we're just chatting about a cool gadget. The Jetson Nano is a small board made by NVIDIA, and its whole purpose is running artificial intelligence tasks like image recognition directly on the device itself. In simple terms, it's a mini computer with a small but real graphics processor built in, similar to what powers video games, just scaled down. This lets it process images and video extremely fast, way faster than a Raspberry Pi could manage for the same task. People use it to build things like a camera that can recognize faces or a robot that can follow a person around a room. It can handle around 472 billion operations per second for AI-related tasks, which is a huge number compared to basic microcontrollers doing simple math. You'll find it in hobbyist AI robots, smart cameras, drone projects, and university research labs. It's also used in early prototypes for self-driving toy cars and object tracking systems. A common mistake beginners make is expecting it to run like a simple Arduino board when it actually needs a full operating system setup, just like a small Linux computer.